mountains of northern Thailand, there is a place where elephants come to heal. They arrive broken, physically, psychologically, in ways that take years to understand and longer to repair. They arrive having spent decades in logging camps, in tourist camps, on city streets, performing tricks for coins, carrying strangers on their backs for 8 hours a day under a metal seat that slowly destroys their spine. At this place, no one rides them, no one commands them, no one asks anything of them except to exist. The woman who built this place is called Lek. She is small, barely 5 feet tall, and she has spent 30 years making enemies of some of the most powerful people in Thailand to protect animals that cannot speak for themselves. This is her story. Lek Chailert was born in 1962 in a small hill tribe village in Chiang Mai province, northern Thailand. Her family called her Lek, a Thai nickname meaning small. Her grandfather was the village shaman, a healer who worked with plants, with animals, with the natural world in ways that the modern world had largely forgotten. He taught Lek that every living creature deserved respect, that animals were not tools, that the ability to feel pain was not a human privilege. From childhood, Lek was drawn to elephants. In rural Thailand, elephants had been working animals for centuries, used in logging, in agriculture, in warfare. They were everywhere, and Lek, even as a child, saw in them something that troubled her deeply. Intelligence meeting cruelty, awareness meeting indifference. She grew up, she studied, she became a tour guide in Chiang Mai, working with foreign visitors, and she watched, year after year, as the elephants around her suffered in ways that the tourism industry had no interest in acknowledging. To understand what Lek was fighting against, you need to understand what elephant tourism actually requires. Before an elephant can be ridden, before it will perform tricks, before it will submit to human commands, it must go through a process called Fajan, a Thai word meaning the crush. It is a breaking process that involves isolating a young elephant, confining it in a small wooden structure, depriving it of sleep and food, and subjecting it to pain until its spirit, the scientific literature calls it psychological autonomy, is destroyed. The process typically takes several days. It leaves the animal compliant. It also leaves it with lifelong psychological trauma, hypervigilance, aggression, repetitive behaviors, and a shortened lifespan. This was, and in many places remains, standard practice across the Thai elephant tourism industry, an industry worth hundreds of millions of dollars annually. An industry deeply embedded in Thai culture, economy, and identity. Lek knew this. She had seen it. And in 1996, at the age of 34, she decided she was going to do something about it. With no money, no organization, and no plan beyond the conviction that it had to stop. In 1996, Lek founded the Elephant Nature Park in the Mae Tang Valley, north of Chiang Mai. She began with almost nothing, a piece of rented land, a handful of volunteers, and a single elephant named Mae Perm, a 30-year-old female she had rescued from a logging camp. Mae Perm was blind in one eye, had a damaged hip from years of carrying loads, and was deeply mistrustful of humans. Lek did not attempt to train her. She did not attempt to ride her or command her. She simply fed her, talked to her, and gave her space. She let Mae Perm decide when she was ready for contact. It took months. Then one morning, Mae Perm walked to Lek and rested her trunk on her shoulder. That was the model. That was the entire philosophy of what became one of the most recognized elephant sanctuaries in the world. Patience, respect, and the radical idea that an animal's well-being was more important than a tourist's experience. Word spread slowly, then quickly. Volunteers began arriving from around the world. Donations followed. More elephants were rescued from logging camps, from street begging, from tourist operations that had broken them and then discarded them when they became too damaged to work. The elephant tourism industry in Thailand is not operated by faceless corporations. It is operated by families, by communities, by people for whom elephants represent livelihood, tradition, and identity. Telling them that what they were doing was wrong was not a neutral act. Lek received death threats. Her sanctuary was vandalized. She was publicly accused of being a foreign agent, of damaging Thai culture, of caring more about animals than about the Thai people who depended on elephant tourism for their income. In 2005, the Thai government declared her a national security threat, a designation that prevented her from leaving the country for a period and placed her under surveillance. The specific justification was never made entirely clear. She did not stop. She gave interviews. She made documentaries. She brought journalists and filmmakers and scientists to the sanctuary to show them what ethical elephant care looked like and what unethical elephant care looked like. She built relationships with international conservation organizations. She made it impossible to ignore. "I am not afraid of dying," she said in one interview. "I am afraid of doing nothing." Today, the Elephant Nature Park is home to over 100 rescued elephants, along with hundreds of dogs, cats, buffalo, and other animals. More significantly, Lek's work helped shift the conversation around elephant tourism across Southeast Asia. Following international pressure, much of it generated by her advocacy, several major travel companies removed elephant riding from their offerings. TripAdvisor stopped selling tickets to venues where animals are made to perform. The awareness she helped build changed what tourists were willing to accept and what operators could profitably offer. The Fajan process has not ended. Elephant riding has not ended. The industry is large, entrenched, and economically significant, but it is more visible now than it was in 1996. And visibility, as Lek always understood, is the first step toward accountability. Lek Chailert did not end elephant cruelty in Thailand. She will be the first to tell you that. What she did was refuse to accept that one person's action was meaningless in the face of a system too large to change. She built something real in a real place, with real animals that real people could see and understand and be changed by. She has been named one of Time magazine's Heroes of the Environment. She has received the Condé Nast Traveler Environmental Award, the Ford Foundation's Heart of Asia Award, and recognition from governments and conservation organizations around the world. She still lives at the sanctuary. She still knows every elephant by name. She still walks among them in the early morning, before the volunteers arrive, in the quiet before the day begins. There is a photograph taken by a visitor some years ago. Lek, asleep in the grass? A massive elephant standing over her, its shadow covering her completely. The elephant is not restrained. It is not commanded. It is simply there, beside her, the way animals stay near the people they trust. That photograph says everything her words ever could.